Right, we're back. Hi, Scott.
Hi, Jack.
You keep calling me Jack. It's not really my name, man.
I feel like because I've known you that long and everyone else calls you Jackie, but if I call you Jack...
Well, should we tell everyone what I call you and what your name is, really? Yeah, exactly.
No, because everyone thinks that's not professional, but
Okay.
yeah,
Well,
we'll save that for another day.
Yeah. How you doing, mate?
I'm good. Busy, really busy. Nostro is booming at the moment, so...
It's been a really exciting week because last week we had, or was it a couple of weeks ago, we had the launch of the massive giveaway we've been talking about for ages.
Yeah, and I don't know if by the time this comes out, if that's still running, but...
No, it'll be finished.
It will be finished. We might extend it.
Yeah. Which it's getting a really good reaction, so there's no reason not to, right?
Yeah. Obviously, the 5K free step accounts is... When we launched Nostro, we were totally different to everyone else. We knew we were coming into the market a little bit later than everyone, and we developed that plan, and that them 5K free steps eventually are going to be a free trial where users come into the platform, they sign up, and before they even buy an account, they get a free 5K free step account. So we've been working hard to get that all sorted, add some layers of security and stuff like that in, and it's sort of being tested now with this giveaway. So yeah, it's been good.
The reaction to that has been great as well. I don't know of any other prop firms who are doing anything like that, like giving away such a large amount of accounts.
It goes back to how before I even come into Nostro, how it first started, how you wanted it to be a free prop firm and utilise the data. So it's good. I think it'll take off, and I think the word is spreading about it. So
massively. I mean, I can't remember this morning. I maybe checked, or I mean, obviously, when we're recording this now, the giveaway is now still live, but I'm sure we had like something like 7,000-8,000 people.
We've done
within a few days.
We've done 1,600 accounts sold in 3 days. So yeah, we're popping out, like we're growing. We're growing bigger and bigger and bigger. So yeah, that's always been the plan. Organic growth all the way through. So keep pushing that forward.
Yeah. I want to talk today about what we've discussed internally for probably between us, you and me, the last 6 months, right?
Yeah.
And it's one of these topics which you and me can kind of not, I would say, butt heads, but you have an opinion on this topic, and I have an opinion on this topic, and they're both valid. There's no right or wrong way to this conversation.
Comes off the back of me shouting it a little bit.
Yeah, I do get shouted at by Chief Scott quite a lot. But it's the topic of problem solving within a business. So whether it's a prop firm or whatever business you've got, I've got a few businesses, and there's always times where you think everything's going smoothly, then all of a sudden you're right.
Spill my drink.
At any point in a business, you'll get bottlenecks, and you'll get, when I say bottlenecks, what I mean is problems will arise. And what tends to happen is if there's an issue, for example, I don't know, it could be there's a server thing that maybe means we go down for 15, 20 minutes or half an hour or whatever. People can instantly freak out. And I understand why, right? People have paid money for an account. Trading, we've talked about this, trading's an emotional game. So people are emotionally invested in their account, in their progress, in their profits, and their losses and everything. So when something happens online where we, for example, go down, it can seem like a lot of times, like, we get things like, oh, people can say it's a rug pull, or people can say it's scam or whatever, right? And that always annoys me because I see how hard we're working, but it's not, right? These things happen and we have to just manage them. Yeah,
right. So for me, I think it comes down to the way the industry now is, right, is over the last 18 months, lots and lots and lots of people have been scammed by other firms. They've lost money, and ultimately, trust in prop firms is an all-time low, right? So,
in general, would you say that's across the board?
Yeah, just in general, lots of new firms, people like are rug pulling.
What is a rug pull for people who don't know what that means?
For me, a rug pull is obviously a business comes in, they do really well, they take loads of money off clients, the flow might get bad, or like the big problem, I think, and the big problem with prop firms, I think, for me, is they'll come out and they might be backed by some influencers or something like that. And straight away off the bat, they're going to have a really, really good push up. Loads of people buy accounts. Then after a month or so, people are like, well, these aren't as good as these other prop firms. And their demand drops off. But because they've had that initial up of loads of clients, they're then left with funded traders and the funds are just depreciating, yeah? And for us, it happened the other way. We started really, really slowly and we built up, and it's took us a year to understand the flow of the business. And ultimately, as a prop firm, if you're paying out more than that's coming in, then it's not sustainable, right? So you've got to work out a flow, and this is where rules and things like that come in. So over the year, we've had to add rules. Some people are, and you'll put a rule out, and this is one of the things, like it's like the optics. You'll put a rule out, and people are like, oh, you're just making it harder for traders, when it's actually, you are correct, but the reason for that is there's a lot of manipulation and scamming out there as well, right? So I think a lot of prop firms struggle with this. Yeah, it's very easy for hedging groups and things like that have been taking lots of money off firms, and then that leaves them like basically going out of business.
Well, on that note, right, what was that video you sent me, which I watched maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago? It was a guy who ran a prop firm who realised there was something going on behind the scenes, and there was like Telegram groups, and they were all kind of working with each other and loads of prop firms went down because of that. Yeah,
so obviously it's a big, big thing, right? And ultimately what's happening there, that's having a knock-on effect to just normal traders that are coming in, trading the way they want to, not doing anything wrong. But the prop firms now, and you'll see it, every prop firm has had to add extra rules in because the industry got so big. There's now so much competition, right? It's easy to manipulate, yeah? And so from Nostro, our original idea is we want genuine traders, that are going to come in and trade, right? He's a genuine trader, right? You're part of a hedge fund. You run a hedge fund. Like, I don't know how much direct involvement you've got with the traders in the hedge fund, but are your some of your hedge fund traders, how much are they managing?
Oh, well, we have a massive range. So some of them are on 10K, which we start usually on, and they'll build up and we'll scale in. But some of our traders are on 7 figures, 600-700 grand.
Right. So on them, if one of your traders was then, and I've actually been with Preston in India when he's monitoring it. Yeah. But if one of your traders was then full porting one of them big accounts, so going all in, and that account was going up 100, 200 grand consistently, would you employ them as a trader?
No, in fact, we've actually had to get rid of some because we've had some traders who have been over leveraging based on the rules that we set. So this is not a prop firm. We're an actual managed investment fund. Yeah. And we have rules in place. And when those traders don't abide by those rules, we pull them the same 10 minutes. Yeah. Within 10 minutes, and we tell them.
And that's basically when we started Nostro, that's the same rules you want to apply to a prop firm trading. But now, big in the industry is I'll buy an account, I'll full port it. If I fail, I fail. But yeah, you might be losing the fee, but it's a small amount. You wouldn't do that if you had a 100K account of personal account. Would you go out and full port that account?
No one would.
You wouldn't. So the whole prop firm space has gone, right, and I don't really want the gamblers, yeah? We want people who come in, they trade. Off the back of that, their data's worth money to us, right? And you can use that to monetize the rest of the business. But the full porting doesn't really make sense. And I think a lot of businesses are struggling with that as well. So I think why we sometimes butt heads a little bit is because I'm forward-facing in the business with all our employees and mods, and I see sort of everything coming in. I see all the comments coming in. I hate to say this because people now will just put more, Trustpilot comes in, you're like, dagger through the heart, right? And the first thing I'm looking on the accounts, and most, like, I'll say this now, most Trustpilots are people that don't even trade with you, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah, I know.
Don't get me wrong, there is some genuine ones, right? But I see all this stuff, and as soon as one little thing can go wrong, and you've got to remember, it's a high tech environment. This is way over our head.
I don't understand
in terms of development of Nostro, we've got 15 devs that work for us daily, and the problem solving, they're doing errors, they're fixing stuff, they're making better. One of our devs said the other week, I think it's like, we get 58,000 API calls like every like minute or something. I might be well out with that, but it was just a
lot.
Basically, we worked it out, and it was every second we were getting 8 API calls, right? So the infrastructure, the business, we've had to grow it, we've had to make it more sustainable and things like that. So this sort of stuff is volatile. It's going to go down. I've worked in businesses a long time, managed other businesses, managed a business with 500 employees, right? Stuff would go down where them employees couldn't work for 3-4 hours, and it's about getting back up. But I think to a lot of other people, as soon as something's going wrong, you sort of lose your trust. And for me, your trust in the business is everything in a prop firm. So I try and make sure everything we do is for the people, basically.
No, I think when I'm hearing you say it back, I think that makes a lot more sense if I'm trying to be objective.
Yeah.
I think because I'm passionate about the project, I don't see it that way.
Yeah.
I'm just like, of course they'll trust us. Of course it's going to be fine. You're like, you don't understand.
Yeah.
I do get it.
I think if we go back to what we had, I shouted at you for the other day.
Last week.
We were we were sat there for 4 hours trying to work out the current promo, how it's going to work, setting up all the automation, everything like that, right? And we were discussing the final message that was going out to people, right? And one thing I've learned over the last year of running Nostro is you have to get that message right. If there's one little bit of wording wrong, people will come at you, or they'll find a loophole, or whatever it is.
Yeah. So
everything needs to be like sort of perfect. And the only reason I know this is because we've made that mistake so many times.
Yeah.
And so obviously it is about optics, but obviously then as well there is the flip side. Like, some people don't see, there's been days where we've done 18-hour days. Like, there was one point where we were getting up at like 5 a.m. and not logging off. Like, I remember one day you were like, you need to go to bed, and like,
I've said it a few times to you, you need to go to bed, get some sleep.
And like, my girlfriend's like, you need to sort yourself out, like, because but it goes in waves, because the business also as well, when it's running when it's running nicely and smooth, everything just runs in with each other. There's no just like nothing going wrong, but one little thing can send the chain down, and then it's like fixing accounts and getting back to where we need to be. So yeah, it is stressful, and it is always, like, I'll be honest, as like CEO, it's always on my mind of finding that balance of making sure the trader's taken care of first and the business is going to sort of move forward. So yeah, that's why I get stressed out with you.
I know, and I understand, and I think now, as I said, now you've just said it back to me, I kind of see. I always saw your point. I think that last week when we had that little tiff, I think it was just because we just spent so much time. And just to give a bit of context, people listening, I thought the message that I wrote was enough, and there was enough information in there. But obviously, now looking back, now we've launched it, there clearly wasn't, and I just wasn't having any of it. But the thing is also, when we spend so much time on these promos or on the website or on the dashboard, you sometimes just go, let's just get this out. But you are right. You have to make sure that all the I's are dotted and the T's are crossed every single time. Yeah,
everything. And look, there's another side of the coin to the whole prop firms that, like, people don't understand. if you ask 80% of our employees what they're dealing with daily, it's dealing with people trying to scam us. Yeah. So I give it to people. I don't want to give too much away because they'll start flooding us. But people will try anything. They will send you photoshopped. This is the number one, right? You're getting 10 of these a day. Is Photoshop crypto.
Payments,
like they take the screenshot of it being paid, they send it over, but everything's on a blockchain so we can see it, right? And we know straight away. And then they'll be adamant and they'll be like, I've paid, and you're like, well, you haven't, you've just sort of photoshopped that receipt or whatever. And then they're like, people are inventive, yeah. Like, especially for some people from certain countries, they spend an awful lot of time trying to like get free stuff out of you, and like it's a big strain on the customer support. So yeah, but yeah, that's pretty much it about.
For that, yeah. On the flip side, though, I think I know we've just said there is quite a lot of scammers out there, and I think you get that in all industries, but. Like we said at the start, we want real traders who are going to come in and use the system properly, and we'll look after you. If you come in, you don't send us a fake payment screenshot, and you send a real ID, and you trade properly, we'll have you for life. So we're here for the traders. As I said, we've said this before,
and you see that as well now, because now we've been going quite a while. Paying people, like our payments have gone up by about 45% last month. The volume of payments going up, and people now as well are on like the 16th, 20th, 10th payment. Like, so these people have been consistent, and like that comes back into some of our like rules that we've put in place.
Yeah.
That maybe when people look at Nostro, they go, I don't really like that. But once they understand it and actually start using it, because they've been programmed by everyone and online, all these people in Lamborghinis, I'm a trader. I know, like running a hedge fund. How much on average does the hedge fund do per month?
Oh, mate, I wouldn't like to put a number in it, but I know all those Lambo people are just, they've never traded
3%, is it? 3%, between 3-5 maybe?
5 is good.
5%.
I would say on average it's 2 to 3%.
Yeah, 2 to 3% is a very, very good return in anything you do. But
in this industry.
In the prop firm industry now, it's like you should be doing 35, 55, 75%. That's like, if you could do 70% on your own 100k account, you would be a billion. You would be in Forbes. You'd be a billionaire before you know it, right?
Yeah.
So it's got to be relatable. The reason a prop firm, it's not a gambling site. You're not like flipping a coin. We're looking for real traders, and I think the industry, to move forward, it's going to have to take that approach, and I think it probably will in the next couple of years. So yeah.
Well, we'll leave it there.
Perfect.
Thanks, mate.